Welcome everybody, super excited. In this video, I'm going to talk about enterprise data governance, whether it's AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. So all you need to know about enterprise data governance and data catalog, how does it work, what this is all about. So welcome back to ClayDesk. My name is Syed, and let's dive right in and let's take a look at how enterprise data governance works. So businesses and data users, they want to be able to keep the capability to analyze data that is scattered across various assets within the organization. So data assets are simply stored across various databases, for example, file systems, servers located on-premise or in the cloud, including data warehousing, data lakes, and big data. But here's the problem, right? So for example, many data assets are hidden deep inside the data silos without much clarity within the data centers, the classification, for example, associated with the data set, and their business relationships. So, large amount of data are basically created, captured, and consumed by enterprise organizations, which further increase the complexity of finding and understanding the data assets. So, to identify relevant data sets, profiling, and combining data, relevant data, right, that meets technical and business insights is really tedious. Now, organizations face numerous challenges, by the way, to analyze data spread across various data assets within the entire organization to basically get business insight and drive business decisions that allow the organizations to grow. Now, this is a challenge due to lack of the data-first paradigm, right? Where the data is the driver to make key decisions within the organization. So, there's a lack of understanding business value of data as a product itself, and technical design gaps are introduced while managing data. Alright, so here's the solution that AWS and other cloud, of course, providers like Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, or IBM, for example, they also provide, which is basically, is through a data catalog. So what is a data catalog, right? All right, simply put, a data catalog is an organized inventory of data assets in the organization. So it uses metadata to help organizations manage their data. And it also helps, allow the engineers collect, analyze, rich metadata, data discovery, and governance. So, in other words, a data catalog is a detailed inventory of all data assets within an organization designed to help data professionals quickly find the most appropriate data for any analytical or business purpose. So now, like I said, there are many challenges, right, to find and access the right data. For example, these challenges could be wasted time and effort on finding and accessing data lakes turning into data swamps, right, instead of lakes, and there's no common business vocabulary. It's hard to understand the structure and the variety of, types of data, and it's difficult to assess also quality, trustworthiness of the data itself. And there's no way to capture, missing knowledge either. So it's difficult to reuse knowledge and data assets also, right? And of course, not to mention manual and, data prep effort. So we know that data governance is the process of managing all of the above, right? The availability, usability, integrity, for example, and of course within the enterprise systems based on the internal data standards and policies that control data usage within the company. Now, effective data governance ensures that data is consistent and trustworthy. And now, the data governance process also enables organizations, by the way, to ensure high quality data exists during the life cycle of the data. And data governance, by the way, and data access rules and policies basically are there to improve data security. Now, whether you manage data initiatives, work with data professionals, for example, or you're working as a contractor or consultant for a company, the company understands what the average data project looks like to improve, and it proves to be highly beneficial to your career. And I've been involved in many projects likewise. So many companies actually look for this expertise also, right? And no two data projects are identical because each has its own challenges, opportunities, and of course solutions that impact its trajectory. Now, nearly all data projects, right, they follow the basic life cycle, right? That's the good thing. from start to finish. And this life cycle is basically 8 stages, right? Or steps or phases, whatever you want to call it. So, generation, you have collection, for example, you have processing, right? You have data storage, and then you have data management, right? You have data analysis, data visualization, for example, and then data interpretation, okay? So now that you know the data lifecycle, right, there are basically 2 main ways you can interact with the data catalog. First, searching for data assets that you have access to. And of course, tagging assets with metadata. Important, right? So data catalog leverages the basically, DLP, right? The data loss. And it scans to identify sensitive data within the data catalog in terms of templates. So let's take a look at the data governance catalog. So realizing the benefits of managing data assets, for example, to understand technical or get technical insight, and enterprise organizations are looking for a framework to implement data governance. So a data governance catalog revolves around metadata, for example, and primarily metadata is categorized as technical and business. So that's the 2 aspects, right? Technical is simply information such as, date created, date last modified, right? Source, maybe size of the data set, right? Whereas business metadata further enriches technical metadata by simply adding additional details, right? And data classification, structure, data, taxonomy, for example, retention period, and other details for the data set. So data first approach is certainly essential for data governance catalog success. And data stewardship, by the way, as I call it, right? Which simply means aligning data, getting business processes together, right? And these people are project managers, data subject, experts, for example, business owners, data architects, right? Solutions architects and analysts. Now, they are responsible for interpreting and collecting, metadata and driving deep business insights and promoting a culture for data-driven culture across the organization. Now, a data catalog aligns deeper and processes, technology, helping data users understand and transform data into a business asset. It delivers a good visibility to data sets, allowing organizations to combine or comply with global data privacy laws. A data catalog also allows the organization to identify data owners, by the way, and to improve data quality, regulatory compliance, and data usage. Now, it also enables organizations to orchestrate workflows, by the way, right? Automate processes and make changes to the metadata. And data ownership ensures that someone in the organization is responsible for the data origin. And of course, its definition, business attributes, relationships, and dependency. And there are various owners across business units, such as marketing, for example. You can have supply chain, you can have finance, right? And business unit collaboration improves business actions, such as launching product on time, on budget, interactions with consumers, right? And making new sales and distribution channels that could be easier to build. For example, with improved collaboration, a marketing business unit can consolidate the customer data in the organization and create new marketing campaigns effectively, targeting the right audience. So a data catalog certainly helps implement data classification also, encryption, data masking, and protection also, right, within the organization. So data classification, for example, simply enables these individuals, guidelines around storage, access of classified data, such as customer social security numbers as an example, right? So these SSNs are classified as sensitive data and are handled accordingly by data processing and of course the pipelines as well. So according to international IDC Data Corporation, right? Organizations are basically suffering from inefficiency and ineffectiveness as they turn to data, which is the lifeblood of their digital transformation. And the workforce is certainly struggling. Now, business metadata, such as metadata on, let's say, basically a way of showing property, right, within the subject area and how they're related, by defining a set of concepts and categories that represent the subject for rapidly growing and diverse data. Now, a combination of business and technical metadata, provides a unified view of data assets, right? Which reduces the effort of searching, for incorrect data. It just allows easy access to your data. And businesses can discover and access data securely using data classification and policy management. Now, it helps organizations identify new opportunities for problem solving, right? Innovation and revenue growth using business lineage and reports which are generated on business data relationships with individuals. Now, data catalog also helps customers that make connections, right, and drive their business growth while making informed business decisions. With this robust metadata as a foundation of the data catalog, you can really have about, let's say, 4 things, right? You can have data classification label, related data sets for business domains, subject areas, and data facets, helping data usage understand their data better. Now, data policy management, right, outlines how data processing and management is carried out to ensure organizations' data is accurate, accessible, consistent, and protected also. Now, this policy establishes and is responsible for information under various circumstances, right? For example, specifying procedures, which procedures should be used to manage it. It also incorporates risk management to identify, assess, and control threats to organizations' capital and earnings. It also, by the way, introduced data ethics principles to reduce potential business problems from the use of data. Now, data policy management includes data access management, data retention, for example, right? And business lineage highlights the transformation and aggregation of data needed by business users. Now, without this capability, business units cannot really identify, active systems, for example, and business processes and stages. Reporting, by the way, allows dashboard capabilities, visualization around various data assets. Now, this reporting capability provides metrics, by the way, as data volume grows, data classification, relationships, and more, right? So, according to an Eckerson group, by the way, they're one of the leading data consultants, by the way, and research group. Data cataloging accelerates analysis by minimizing the time and effort that analysts spend finding and preparing data. So a well-managed data catalog helps technical teams get more business context, as opposed to just technical information, right? So they use the business glossary, for example, right? It enables technical teams to perform data discovery and analysis or analyze the data efficiently while building the data pipeline so that they can swiftly launch data-driven applications to drive business growth. It also provides data lineage on the data journey from origin to conception, right? So a data catalog provides native and comprehensive data governance capabilities that ensure trust in the data and really compliance and regulatory compliance for the data. So, what should the data catalog offer, right? A good data catalog should offer, by the way, search and discovery. That's important, right? And the data catalog should have a flexible searching and filtering options to allow users to quickly find relevant sets of data for data science, for example, or data analytics or data engineering, or just browse metadata based on technical hierarchy of data assets. So enabling users to enter or technical information, user-defined tasks, for example, or business terms, they also improve search capabilities. Harvesting metadata into various sources, right? Making sure that your data catalog can harvest technical metadata from a variety of connected data assets, including object storage, for example, self-driving databases, on-premise systems, and these are many examples. So metadata also, it provides a subject to subject matter experts, right? They have the knowledge within the business organization, right? They can tag, they can create business glossaries, right? Classification, ratings, many ways you can actually do it. And of course, not to mention automation and data intelligence, right? So as the data scales, the artificial intelligence and machine learning sometimes it's a must, right? So many of the manual tasks can also be automated through AI and machine learning techniques, right, to basically collect and analyze data. So AI and machine learning are also certainly valuable tools, and they have capabilities to handle data, such as providing data recommendations, data predictions, right, and then the users of other services as well in a modern data platform. So enterprise, capabilities basically is your data is there. You just need enterprise class capability to use the data properly, right? Such as identity and access management as a main capability, maybe to REST APIs. Now, this would also mean that customers and partners can also contribute metadata, such as custom harvesters, or also expose data catalog capabilities in their own applications through a REST API. Now, your data catalog, by the way, should become your actual catalog, providing abstraction, right, for all the data, consistent layers like object store, Hadoop, databases, data warehouses, right? And of course, other services that work across your all data sources. So let's summarize and conclude, right? So organizations certainly are striving to be data driven. Now they want better, faster analytics without sacrificing, anything. And that's what's making data management even more important and challenging. So a data catalog certainly helps, big data management and easier to manage, and makes, the entire enterprise organization to become enterprise data governance capable. And that's really what enterprise data governance is all about. And of course, we also talked about in depth about data catalog. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Post them in the discussion area. And with this, let's move to the next lecture.